Hello friends, welcome to this video. So let's get started. As I told you that we have two states, one is fed state, one is fasting state. It is very easy. Fed state means when we are eating food and fasting means in between two meals when we are not eating food. Fed state approximately stays for 2 hours and in between two meals it is fasting state when in night time we are sleeping, we're not eating food. So between dinner and next day breakfast, that is also fasting period, right? And starvation is prolonged fasting. So fasting is of shorter duration, say 12 to 18 hours, and starvation is of longer duration, say 1 to 3 days, right? Now, in fed state, we are mainly taking carbohydrates in the diet. Prototype of all the carbohydrates is glucose. So mainly glucose is entering our blood, right? So hyperglycemia is going to occur and insulin hormone comes in this fed state, right? So blood glucose we are getting from food, right? Mainly from food. But we are not eating food all the time. We're just taking 2-3 meals in a day. But blood glucose is maintained all the time. That means food is just one of the source of blood glucose. There are other sources of blood glucose also. So let's see this question. What are the sources of blood glucose? Be careful. The question is, what are the sources of blood glucose? So when this question is asked, what are the sources of blood glucose? The first source I will say is food. When we are eating food, it is coming from food, right? But when we are not eating food, that is in between two meals, this glucose is coming from which organ? It is coming from glycogen. From which organ? Liver, right? Liver glycogen only can give glucose to blood. Muscle glycogen cannot give glucose to blood. So second is after food we have body will be using liver glycogen. Let me tell you, liver glycogen can give you glucose in blood for just 12 to 18 hours. If someone has not eaten since last 12 to 18 hours, then this blood glucose will be finished, right? So what will be the next source of blood glucose? What will be the third source of blood glucose? After glycogen is finished or there is some problem that glycogen cannot be used up in the body, after that body will depend on, don't say fats. Many times students will say fats as answer to this question. But no, answer is not fats to this question because fats can never be converted to carbohydrates. You must have read this line. Fats can never be converted to carbohydrates. So here when I'm asking this question is on glucose. So you can never answer fats. Answer is gluconeogenesis, this pathway which will make glucose from other non-carbohydrate sources. That pathway is responsible for providing glucose to blood because you know glucose is required at any point of time in the body. It is required for RBCs, for brain, right? Now, gluconeogenesis pathway requires high amount of energy. Because gluconeogenesis pathway requires high amount of energy, so can I say that exercise done at morning time is much beneficial as compared to the daytime exercise? Because, see the concept, when we take meals during the daytime, then between two meals, the gap is around 6 to 8 hours, right? And during the night time when we sleep, then the gap between dinner and next day breakfast is around 12 to 14 hours, right? So during the daytime, glycogen is getting used. But when, when we wake up in the morning time, then our glycogen is almost finished. Now before breakfast, if now we are doing exercise, then exercise will use lots of energy of the body. And which pathway will be used here? Because glycogen is finished. So pathway gluconeogenesis will be used here for maintenance of blood glucose. So gluconeogenesis also requires lots of energy. Plus we are doing exercise, that is also using lots of energy of the body. So exercise done at this time is much beneficial as compared to the daytime exercise. It's like many people, you must have heard many people have a complaint that I'm daily doing evening walk, but I'm unable to reduce even 1 kg. See why? Because this person who is doing evening walk, this person will take lunch around 2 p.m., right? And around 2 p.m. when he takes lunch, then glycogen will be synthesized. Lunch state means fed state means anabolism occurring in the body. So glycogen will be synthesized in the body and that will be stored, right? And evening walk when this person is doing, that is between lunch and dinner, in between two meals, now glycogen will be used up. And glycogen breakdown or synthesis is not a high energy consuming pathway. Now after evening walk, this person will be again hungry for dinner. So gluconeogenesis pathway is not occurring at this point of time when exercise is done during the daytime. That's why exercise is much beneficial during the morning time, right? Now see the second question. What is the main or preferred fuel for the body? First question was question on glucose, and now the question is what is the main fuel for the body? So I will say main fuel for the body is carbohydrates. When carbohydrates are very less, then body will shift to fats. When fats are also finished, then body will shift to proteins and amino acids. So we can say that in fed state, carbohydrate is the main fuel. In fasting state, fats is the main fuel. But in starvation, body will start using proteins and amino acids. Once fats are finished, then body will start using proteins and amino acids. And in starvation, vital organs will be using ketone bodies, right? Now note one more point here, that I am saying in fed state, carbohydrate is the main fuel, not the only fuel. At this point of time, some body organs are also using fats. Detail we'll be doing later, right? But note here, the word is not only, the word is main. So similarly, in fasting state, main fuel for the body is fats, because some portions of body are also using glucose at this point of time, that is carbohydrate, that is brain and heart, they'll be using glucose, right? So this is